Thursday morning. Welcome to the OACS meeting. Welcome to the month of love. I'm gonna nominate this table as the table that is representing the month of love. I'm gonna go a little bit off script this morning, and then we'll get into our agenda. I placed a little card on everybody's table this morning. Every year, I think I've shared this before, I choose a word that I kind of want to be like my theme for the year, kind of something I want to try to live by, be focused in that area in my daily activities. So this year, my word was courageous. I just want to be courageous. So this morning, I'm going to be courageous, and I'm going to step out in faith and invite all of you into something with me. We recently had our president inaugurated, no matter how you feel about it politically. Our country takes a lot of pride in our freedoms and our processes as a not democratic, what's the right word? Democracy, thank you. As a democracy, thank you, Shannon. And so I was kind of struck by something at the inauguration, and I just wanted to share that with all of you today. I was struck by the fact that they prayed at the inauguration, and that as a country, we still acknowledge that there is a God. And so regardless of your personal faith, any of those of you who know me know that I am a woman of faith. And I would really like to take everybody's vote, and we won't count it today. We'll go back and count it because I want to be respectful. I don't want to force prayer on any of you. I want to, have a consensus. And I would like to propose that before every meeting, we just I just say a quick prayer, because I do believe that we're doing the Lord's work in here. And I pulled a couple scripture this morning to share with you. Psalms 71:9. It says, "Do not cast me away when I'm old. Do not forsake me when my strength is gone." And Leviticus 19:32, "Stand up in the presence of the aged, show respect for the elderly, and revere your God." So, we are doing the Lord's work. I know the Bible speaks very clearly about helping the poor, helping the needy, but I was just reminded this morning that we are to take care of our seniors and our elderly. So again, just, throw a yes or a no on your little card, fold it over, leave it on the table, we'll collect it. But I would just like to ask for God's, strength, his guidance, to help us go where we're trying to go, because we're doing what he wants us to do. So why not ask for his help? Okay. All right. So that's that. So welcome to OACS. You guys probably weren't expecting that this morning, but welcome to OACS. We're so excited to be sharing our mission and our vision of how we are a networking group. We want to bring information to the general public. We are really passionate about trying to get our general public, our seniors, and their adult children to know about us and to reach out to our community. We're focused on social media as being the platform that people can find us and participate. Obviously, they can also come into the room and hear about the wonderful information that we have to share. I just want to share a little praise report. We have so many stories to share and tell. I'm sure everybody in this room has a lot of stories. My mom came last month. Many of you were here to hear kind of the story of how we came to be as a group. And I've been asking my mom for probably 10 or 15 years to get a trust. And she has been very reluctant. She always tries to dismiss it and say, jokingly, "I'm going to live forever." She does not want to talk about it. And after coming to our meeting, she came because she was like, "I'm so proud of my daughter. I want to hear what she has to say." She actually proactively reached out to me and said, "I was really inspired by attending your meeting. I want to get a trust." So we are making an impact in people's lives, and my own mom was impacted. So we are doing the Lord's work in here. All right. So we have our table up here for everybody to be able to grab information about all of our different service providers that so faithfully attend our meeting. And so our mission is to proactively serve and educate each other in pursuit of synergistic solutions for seniors and their adult children. Our vision is to create a unified senior resource team to support each other and the community that we serve. And our values are integrity, synergy, service, and collaboration. Okay. We have our raffle basket. If anybody didn't get their card in the raffle basket, we have some really amazing Valentine's gifts today for our raffle today. So be sure to get your card in the raffle basket. So anybody new here today besides Kimberly, I'm going to single you out. Anybody else here new today, just throw up your hand real quick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kimberly, you're new over here. Welcome and welcome. I love it. I get so excited. Lots of growth. So thank you everybody for continuing to share and get the word out and invite people to join us at the meeting. So after our meeting today, make sure to find the people that are here new today, connect with them, get them your card and make them feel welcome. So Facebook and Instagram. So I'm all about the gram right now. I'm like, I was talking to Liz this morning. I'm really working on, sharing my story, letting people in, behind the curtain, let them know a little bit more about me. So as a part of that process, I'm going to be really working hard to really share our story here at OACS on Instagram, and hopefully that information will get out there even better. So our Facebook count is up to 479. So 500, we are coming for you. That's up by 9 people. Hey, baby steps. We are going to get there. And then our Instagram account, we have 20 followers and we're working to continue to grow that as well. So our goal for Facebook, I'm wrong, it's not 500. We raised it 600 for 2025. And so if everybody just keeps inviting, we can make that happen. So any upcoming events that anybody, yes. Perfect. Thank you. Did I touch something? Shannon's like, that's how I do dinner. Yes. Perfect. Thank you for sharing. Any other fun upcoming events? Yes, Serpa. Wow. Wonderful. I saw the little sign driving up and I was like, wait, what? Liz. Perfect. Yes. 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 That way she can get to know you as well, too. Very good. All right. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Well, you took away the next topic. Liz is our social media coordinator. And she's she is really skilled in that area. If any of you are looking to learn, she hosts, meetings. She hosts workshops where you can learn how to grow your social media presence. So I think that it's just a really incredibly important, powerful way to help get your business and the services that you provide out there. It's really powerful. All right, so we are going to be hearing from my friend Shannon today, whom I adore. She is going to be speaking on the benefits of massage and reflexology for seniors and their caregivers. She'll be teaching us the ancient art of reflexology and how we can help ourselves and our loved ones. Shannon Fernandes is a CMT. What does that stand for? And a CR. Okay. She is the owner of Health in Motion and has been an established certified massage therapist and reflexologist in our community for over 30 years. She is also an advanced trainer in her field, and she has served in the community for Women's Haven, hospice, and her home church plant since its inception 12 years ago. Yep. Her recent drive is speaking and educating people through her experiences and her expertise. So let's all welcome Miss Shannon.
Thank you, Joyce. So I just want to first of all thank all of you who are brave enough to come out, because when it was time to leave, it was storming. So I appreciate that you all came, and it just shows me how much you guys really care about seniors that you are here today. So I first want to just talk to you about these little cards that are on your table. I didn't know Joyce was going to do this, so I'm not copying her. I've been doing this for a while. But see the colored cards on your table? So this is a little interactive thing, so you kind of get to know the people in the room. Since we're supposed to be networking, it's kind of a little way to get to know each other. And so each of one of you grab a card. And then turn to the person to the right of you and find out their name and write their name on the card. Oh, I didn't bring pens. If you have pens. So I'm just going to spray some aromatherapy in the room because it smells good. It's a little, I won't spray it by your laptop, but you can put it on your card. If you stick out your card, I'll spray your card with some aromatherapy. Did you find someone to the right of you? You got to find someone. Everyone find a partner. I can spray your card with some aromatherapy. I'm going to move it away from the phones, and I just drip a drop on it. I have no idea which one this one is. I just grabbed one this morning. It's a combo. It's a blend. They're all blends that I really like. I'm going to spray this. I'm going to have you stick out your card so I can spray it, your card. It's a blend of aromatherapy. I didn't spray all your cards. I'm going to spray all your cards for you. Stick it out so I don't get a phone or your drink or whatever. So my first question for you, ladies and one gentleman, is how many of you in this room are caregivers by profession or in some way help people help people? I would say I thought about all of you would raise your hand. Sorta. Okay. And how many are caregivers for your loved ones? Are there any of those in the room today? Oh, more than I thought. Okay. So when we're caregivers, we often take care of other people. I'm a caregiver of 32 years. I've been taking care of people and a mom of 3 kids. They're all adults now, but when we do these things, we often forget some really basic things to take care of ourselves. And so that's what I'm inspired to share with you guys today is some simple tips that will help you take care of yourself and a couple of reminders. So the first one is on the card on the same side that you wrote their name, right? You are important. Are you doing it? Oh, you need a pen? I'll find you a pen. Okay. She's got pins if anyone needs one behind you. And then write, you are special. And then write, you are needed. And since tomorrow's Valentine's Day, I think we should put, you are loved. Okay. Now pass that card to the person that has their name on it. Love it. I'm getting goosebumps. So I just heard, what was your name? I love it. I love the energy. I love it. Jennifer just said, I'm going to keep this in my purse. And that's exactly why I gave this to you. I did this speech 20 years ago. And months later, after I did the speech, a lady came up to me and she said, I can find that in my purse because it's colored. It's a different texture than all your receipts, right? And the main thing that she said made the difference for her was that she didn't write it to herself. Somebody else wrote it for her and it made it more believable. So after that, I was like, I'm going to share this with everybody. This is so great. And then she said, I'm going to put it in my purse. So that's really great. So now take your card and flip it over. Now be nice. So we all know that how many days can you go without food, roughly? Well, according to what I found on the internet, which you could always find a contradictory amount, but 8 to 21 days. But how about how long you can go without water? A few days. And so what I first thing I want you to write on that list, and kind of write small because I have a few tips, is make sure you're hydrated. When you don't eat, when you're stressed and you're taking care of loved ones and you have doctor's appointments and you're upset about the things that are happening to them, or you're at work and you're taking care of people all day long, it takes a lot of energy. We sometimes will skip our food just to take care of somebody else. But at least drink your water because it is so important. You can't make clear decisions without water. There's all kinds of things that go haywire when you don't drink water. So water. These are the tips that I check in with myself to do because I sometimes will overtax myself just as much. My job is very physical. I do a lot of deep tissue massage and I work a lot with seniors, which are more exhausting than regular clients. So I wrote this list for myself and I check it when I'm like that. I literally check this list myself. And the other one is to breathe. There are great breathing apps now, and there's also breathing tips on YouTube, different videos you can listen to. And then I'll share more about the breathing later. Connect with nature. So especially if you can actually touch your feet to a real ground, concrete doesn't count. So like sometimes I'll just take my work that I have to do on my computer. If it's nice enough, today's not a day I would do that, but I would go outside and I will sit with my feet touching the grass and then I will play with my dog because connecting with an animal or a kid, laughing, these are all things that you can put on your card that will help remind you if I'm feeling all out of sorts, if I can't find my keys, I'm stressed out, I'm not being able to think straight. These are some things that really do ground you. They do really ground you. And then later, after I'm done, I'm going to speak about reflexology and some tips, and you can add some little notes when I talk specifically of where to work on your own hands and your own feet that will help you with stress. So those are some of the things that I find very helpful. Exchanging energy with somebody else. So if you're a caregiver in a professional setting, there's a limit on how much you can touch someone, right? But we're holding their hand, even if you're not doing reflexology on them, is an exchange of your energy is just going like crazy. If you can actually touch another person, if you have a husband, I'm sure he would rather, or a wife in that case, I'm sure they would rather you be the person that they're touching. But if you don't have someone or you're feeling overloaded with an amount of energy, exchanging energy with another person really does de-stress you, believe it or not, it does. And then also, I just wanted to touch on one thing that all of us are still, if you are, how many of you are mothers in the room, except for you, of course? Many? Okay, so I still watch what my mom does, and she's 70 something. And I watch how she deals with grief. And so what she does is still teaching me. And so if you model these behaviors of when you're really stressed, instead of going and get an alcoholic beverage, or going to turn on the TV, or going to do different things that you don't want your kids to learn to do. If you do these things, then they'll see and they'll remember, oh, when my mom was stressed, I saw her go and pray. I like that idea. I saw her go and have quiet time. I saw her go take a hot salt bath. That's my favorite thing. It's an anti-inflammatory. I don't recommend the ones with the aromatherapy in them because it's actually perfume. It's very toxic and it can cause rashes and all kinds of other things. So plain old Epsom salt's cheaper, way cheaper. And a cup of that and a hot bath, you would be surprised. The other thing that I share with all my paying clients, but I'm going to give to you guys for a free tip today, is something else I do every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And I call it candy for the spine. And what it really is simple. It's after you get out of that hot bath, you go lie on the floor. The harder the surface, the better. Couches don't count, beds don't count, recliners don't count. And then you scoot your butt up to the couch and fold your legs. So your calves are where you would normally sit. So your legs are 90 degrees. Then you take a rolled up towel and you put it only under your neck vertebrae, not your shoulders and not your head. You don't want your head tilted like this, and you don't want it under your shoulders so you're arching back like that, because then that stretches the body. What you want to do is actually get the muscles in a state of support so that they surrender to the floor. Holding your iPhone is not a good idea. Trust me, it's fallen on my face before. Don't do that. So it also doesn't allow the shoulders to relax. You put your palms face up like you're receiving money or a blessing, or you can tuck them on your stomach. That is something, if you do for 30 minutes a day, you'll send me a text and tell me thank you. I have my clients do it. I can tell when they're doing it because their body tells me if they've done it or not. And what it does is it takes the sacrum in your spine and it flattens it to the floor. Then all the muscles around it can fall down and surrender to the floor. Your legs are half your body. And as we get older, it's harder to get the blood to pump and circulate the lymph and the blood. So if you're at 90 degrees every day for a half an hour, I do it right before bed, you're doing that already. You're recirculating that. You'll have less restless leg syndrome. You'll sleep better. It's like going to the chiropractor for free before bed. I share that with all of my clients, and I would say half of them do it, and if they don't, they willingly confess that they haven't and they should be doing it because they know the benefits of it. So that is super important. I call it traction or candy for the spine, and I would write that on that list because it's a day, something you can end your day with, and it is so helpful. I do it in between clients if I'm feeling like I worked on a really hard person and I feel out of sorts, like my rib is out of place or something. I'll get on the floor and do that and it corrects it. It only takes 5 minutes. You can do 30, it's better because the muscles will relax more. So that's my little tips on that I wanted to fill your card up with. And hopefully you keep it with you and in your purse. So the first thing I want to talk about is, what do you think is the number one reason that there's accidents for people over 65? Anyone know? Falling. The number one accident cause of death is falling. And massage, you can look at, let me see if I can play with this slide. I'm not a technology person. I'd rather give 10 massages than do this. Uh-oh. I don't see anything. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, there's me. So that's my business name. I've been in business since 1992. This is a long link. I'm still learning how to find a way to do this. But if you guys send me a text to that link, you can take a picture of it, or there's a picture up here. You can take a picture of it later. If you send me a text that you're interested in getting an appointment, I will give you $10 off for everyone who's here today. That's an introduction. I already just told you all that. So I do want to point out that my massages are not like everyone else's. When you come in for a regular appointment, I do. Did you know that 90% of the time, the place that you feel the pain is not where the source of the problem is? People will come in all the time and say, yeah, this hurts right here. It's not where it's starting. It's starting completely different spot. And if I just massage that, I will inflame it, irritate it, make it more mad. I might relieve it a little bit, maybe 10% of what I would actually be able to do if I was to do the full body. Because there's places, believe it or not, even in your calf, that will help your neck. And the first time I had, somebody try to tell me, like, they looked at me like I'm crazy. But I showed them after one session that that's the case. It really does make a difference. So I've been nicknamed the body whisperer, which I kind of like. And I even have a funnier story about that, and I'll tell you in a little while. So my work is very specific and therapeutic. No two treatments are the same. You will leave my session with a whole new outlook of your body and how to deal with the element you came in for. This will help you in between your sessions have more relief and less pain. And I can also help you achieve a blissful escape from reality if that's what your body needs and that's what you want. Helping people is my passion. Let's work together to get your health in motion. I actually volunteered here, this particular building 20 years ago for hospice, and I'm recently now signed back up and I'm still volunteering with them. I work volunteering for Haven, for my church, and for my kids' school, of course, for years. So National Institute of Health has shown that massages reduce chronic pain by 30% in seniors, and they have a 63% better sleep. How many people know seniors that don't sleep very well, especially with dementia? It is horrible. I don't know if you've ever gone without sleep, but it's the worst thing I've ever dealt with. It reduces anxiety and depression, it's the Mayo Clinic states, by up to 31%. It increases serotonin and dopamine for mood enhancements, and it helps with mobility and flexibility and range of motion and joint flexibility. And that goes back to the first statistic that I shared with you about the number one reason people die is because they're not stable. They're actually doing a research right now where they're testing all the things, one-legged stands and cardiovascular, blood pressure, and the help of regular massage, 60-minute massages, and helping people not fall. So I'm super excited. When I started this business 32 years ago, there was one study on massage for infants that were born prematurely. If they were touched in the incubator, they gained weight faster. That was the only study at all that they had on massage when I started. Now you can, I was up late last night looking at all the stuff. I was like, oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. So I'm super excited about all the things that they're doing these days. The benefits of reflexology goes on to say that the complementary says that reflex lowers heart rate and blood pressure. It helps with pain management, improved digestion. And this is where I'm going to share a testimony. One of my clients, the mother and the daughter were my clients. And by the way, they've given me permission to share this. I don't share what happens with my clients unless they give me permission. They had a husband or a father that was in the hospital, and he had sepsis. And they were going to send him home on hospice to die. And they said, please go try, go try. I work on them all the time. They think, I do all these great things. I'm like, of course I'll try. So I went and I did his feet. He didn't like me because it's a little painful. When you get reflexology and you're focusing on the areas that have problems, it is a little painful, especially the first time. I was there to accomplish a goal, and that was to help him go poop. And he could not stand me. His stomach was huge. He was in pain. His wife was comforting him, saying, this is going to help you. It's going to help you. It's going to help you. And he didn't like me. Within 30 minutes of leaving, he had what they called an explosion. So they were able to get him to get regular. And he ended up going to Casa de Modesto and lived for another month. And they had a proper goodbye to their dad and their husband. And that is just, it still to this day gives me chills that I was able to help them with that. And I told my daughter, who was in marketing, I said, I think I'm going to call myself the poop whisperer. And she said, you are not, because she was like 19, and she was like, you're going to embarrass me. You are not doing that. So I did a speech at a group, and I said, I got a great laugh out of that. And I was like, I still think I should do that. Have you ever seen that plumber that drives around sitting on the toilet? I'm like, you may not know who he is, but when you look in the phone book or the phone ads, nowadays it's Yelp, you can find him because of that picture. So I was like, I think I should do that. And she's like, no. So I decided to change it to the body whisperer because I don't just help with digestion, but it is like, I would say the only time it's not worked, one time, was that particular man's wife who gave me permission to share this. She came in, she had fallen, and she had a lot of pain, and she gently got on my table, which was a big red flag. And she was pushing a walker, another red flag, very able lady all the time, gardens, does all this stuff. And so those were warning signs for me. So I was very gentle, but I did reflexology on her and I did a little massage on her. And I told her daughter, I said, you need to take her to the hospital. Something's not right. And took her to the hospital and they said nothing was wrong. And I'm like, they didn't find any disc problems, no pinched nerves, nothing. I mean, after 20, even people have degenerative discs. So it didn't make any sense. I'm like, did they lose her x-ray? What? I don't understand. So they said nothing was wrong with her. So I went back over to her house, did the same thing. And I was like, yeah, something's not right. And so they took her back and got a CT scan. She had a fractured pelvis and a broken hip. And they missed that in the ER. I was like, don't get me started. Um, but what was I pointed at? There was a point to that. Dang it. Went right out the window. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I knew that about her and I shared that with her. Oh, that was the only time that I wasn't able to relieve constipation because she had severe inflammation going on in there. But every other time, 100% of the time, if somebody comes in with constipation, I help them. I've been to the hospital multiple times. You can't leave the hospital unless you have a bowel movement. So if you ever know somebody that's stuck in the hospital and can't go home because of that, call me because it's one session. It's not even that long. It doesn't take that long. So it does really help with digestion. And there's a testimony for you to share. It supports neuropathy. There's a random controlled trial going on that's with diabetics with neuropathy, showed reflexology improves the pain reduction, glycemic control, nerve conductivity, and thermal and vibrative sensitivities compared to the controlled group. I think that's really cool. I get a lot of people that have diabetes and they want reflex, hoping that it'll help with their neuropathy. I don't make guarantees, but it's not going to hurt to try. It feels actually pretty good. The first time, like I said, it can be a little painful, but it's not excruciating. So the contraindications for massage therapy, this is really important. If you know somebody that's just out of massage school, don't let them work on a senior. There's so many things you have to watch out for. Their deep vein thrombosis, blood clots, those are the biggest ones that you have to watch out for. They can dislodge the clots leading to severe health risks, according to the American Heart Association. There's risk of fracture if you do too deep, and people that are right out of school don't know how much is too deep. Open wounds, of course, skin infections, broken bones, recent surgeries or injuries. Those are pretty basic. Those are common sense ones, but it's the second one that someone that's new, when I was first out of massage school, they didn't talk about all this stuff. I learned this by working with seniors. I used to do massage at Samaritan Village in Houston because I was volunteering at hospice and they told me to go eat over there. And I walked in and they were doing hand massages on all the people in the assisted living. And I'm like, this place is really rad. I love this place. And their food is good, by the way. I've said that twice. It sounds like I love food. I do. So I started working there and I worked with seniors a lot. And I know what some of you deal with because I'd go to work on some of them and their family members didn't know that I was working on them, some of them. And I'd knock on the door and the neighbor would go, oh, she died last week. So working with seniors can sometimes get exhausting because you're dealing with people that often pass, but you're giving them so much benefit when you spend time helping them. And then I wanted to point out, look, the only contraindications to reflexology. That's it. That's why I love it. It's my number one tool in my tool belt is reflexology because you can't really hurt anyone. And if their foot is broken or has a wound on it, you can work on their hands. So it's still effective to work on their hands. Sensory perception in seniors. This is the other thing about working with seniors if you're a new massage therapist is they have a reduced sensory perception. So I'll say, does that hurt? The lady with the broken pelvis and hip, fractured pelvis and broken hip, she said it didn't hurt. But I could tell by the way she was moving and she didn't say anything, but her eyes would go, when I work on her, and I'm like, she's in pain. But I don't think she wanted to appear like she was in pain, which happens a lot with seniors. They think, oh my God, they're going to put me in a home. So I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to have them help me get my my light changed on my light bulb because they're going to put me in a home. So it's all about pride kind of. They're recognizing the risk of stroke and thrombosis. These are some of the things that I look for: swollen legs, unexplained pain, especially in the calf, shortness of breath, dizziness, sudden and numbness and confusion. Somebody recently wanted to get an appointment with me, and I said, "How you doing?" And they said, "Oh, I keep falling down and my memory's really bad." And I was like, "Okay, well, you're going to have to get me a doctor's note." She said some of those things on that list, and I always get a doctor's note if I'm ever in question, ever worried. And she goes, "No, I'm not going to do that." And I see her on a monthly basis, and she did have a stroke right after that. So I saw the red flags, but she wouldn't get a note for me. So anyway, always consult with the healthcare provider before starting therapy, especially with massage. Why, what, especially in the calf? Oh, that's where a lot of blood clots can be because of gravity. Their feet are hanging down a lot and they're sitting a lot more, so they're not moving. So that's why if they are able to get on the floor, um, I share traction with them because of that. One of those reasons. I mean, even at our age, 50, I'm 50 something. I'm not saying how old. Um, that it's important. It's important pretty much anytime because you're moving lymph too. And everybody's really up on lymph these days. I'm excited. Um, so I have certification in emotional release body work. So I work with people that have been through trauma. But the gift of that is it helps me see and what's happening to the body. Sometimes people don't even know themselves what's happening to their body, but I can see, like the lady squinching her eyes. I knew she was in pain. So it's over the time working with seniors, so many seniors, I've learned how to watch for different cues. People will be getting a massage and their hand will be relaxed, and then I hit a painful spot and they'll go like that. But then when I ask them and they're in pain, they say no. Their body told me they were. So I need to approach the body differently and back up and not do it so deep or whatever. But I just need to change what I'm doing. So I'm really good at that. And I'm also good at feeling pressure. So in our school, am I going over? I see people leaving. I'm like, no. Okay. um, they taught us to take a hair out of our head and put it in a book and shut one page. And then we'd have to feel and see if we could feel that piece of hair in there. And I was able to turn several pages in the book and still be able to feel that hair. So my depth perception and sensitivity is really high. I hope I was able to offer some insights to the many benefits of reflex and massage and educate you about those things to watch for. I encourage you to find an experienced professional who works with seniors. I also offer classes to family members to care for their loved ones in more detailed instruction. So if you are interested in learning how to do reflex on your senior, you're interested in learning how to care for your husband, doing some massage, I do teach classes, workshops, and things like that for that. And that's all on that. Since there's a lot of you in the room that are caregivers, I just wanted to share some things, and I already shared a lot of them on your card about some things to do for yourself when you're taking care of family or the profession of caregiving. So according to the National Alliance of Caregivers and AARP, 23% of caregivers say that their health worsens during caregiving. So if you know someone that's in that situation, buy them a gift certificate, massage their hand when they're talking to you and having lunch. Touch is important to them. A lot of times the only touch they're getting if they're taking care of a spouse especially is caring for that spouse in a way that makes them sad. And so if you can hold their hand and talk to them, it makes a world of difference. It really does. If I have a widow come in, she gets a hug when she comes in, she gets a hug when she leaves, and I see her out in public. It's not a just hi, it's a hug, always a touch, because it really matters. Touch is important. I really, really realized that during COVID when I was told to stay home and then later was allowed to work. The Journal of American Medical Association found that unpaid caregivers have a significant higher level of stress compared to non-caregivers. So if you're the sister that's home taking care of dad and your other sister's at, an hour away, so she's not taking care of it, her stress is nothing like your stress. So if you're the sister that's living an hour away, drop off a meal or have a Grubhubs delivered or go give her a massage or a reflex or something in her area. Find somebody that does that to reach out and help her. So that's all I'm going to share on that. And then I'm going to, oh wait, what did I do here? some more statistics about how much it helps to do massage and reflexology on yourself, lowers blood pressure, helps reduce anxiety and improves sleep quality. It enhances mental health and reduces burnout, and it reduces cortisol levels, which are stress hormones, by 31%. I thought that was a high amount, actually. I was surprised on that one, how high it was. I know it, but I didn't know it was that high. So I'm going to share a little bit with you about some things you can do on yourself. So you need that elbow. Reflexology is something that you can do on yourself. If you have a partner, it's really great to do it on the couch and share the experience with another person. And you can do a lot more if you can reach their feet than you can on your own feet. But if you're only working on your own feet, one of the key areas that I want to point out is this blue line that goes down the inner part of your arch of your foot. Everyone can reach that by doing this, and they can reach that whole spot. Now, I'm not doing it today because everybody's got boots on and all kinds of stuff. But this is the spine, starting at the cervicals all the way down to the tailbone, and all that spot in between. There's also the adrenal glands right here. They look like a little kidney bean, and they are in the middle of the foot. If you're really stressed, they will feel like the outside of a walnut shell. They'll feel rigid. You know how walnut shells have those ridges? If they're really rigid, that means it needs it. It needs it a lot. So if your mom's taking care of your dad and you go visit her she makes you food because she can't stop doing that, makes her anxiety go down to cook for you, let her do it. Say, Mom, sit down, let me do your feet. And find that spot in the middle. It's about right in the middle, and it feels like a walnut, and it will probably on them, and you can massage that. On our hands, people have, if you don't know anything about reflex, most people know this. The spot between right here, I can't do it with this microphone, but if you just pinch right where the bone stops and massage, it is your adrenal glands, and it helps you start breathing deeper and reduces stress, working on the adrenal glands. They actually, both hands have adrenal glands. So that's what's great about this. If you see a chart other than the original Institute of Reflexology, which is the lady that invented this, Eunice Ingham invented this, the charts have to be patent. They're patent, so they have to be like 30% different. So you'll see like the heart down in the intestines, which that doesn't work. But this is an exact duplicate of our body. If you look at it, the liver is only on the right side, and the spleen is only on the left side. So just like the body, the stomach is mostly on the left side, but we have a lung on both sides. And see this red spot right here? That's the spleen. It's only on your left side. And you see this line that's on your hand? Right below it, one thumb width below that line is everyone's spleen. And do you know why it's good to work on the spleen by any chance? Anyone know? If you go into a retirement home, you go on an airplane, you go into a hospital, you're exposed to a lot more germs. And the spleen is like your army, your immune system that takes care of your immune system. So if you work on that, you're just kind of like wake it up before you have to, before and after. I do it the entire time I'm in the hospital. When I was visiting my dad, I was constantly working on that spot. It just gives me something to do with my anxiety and stress, but it also is helping my body at the same time. So that's a really good spot. The diaphragm, which is this blue line right here, on the hand, it's like right here. It's pretty much all across the middle right here. That's the diaphragm. It goes up and down when we breathe. It goes back and forth. If we're really stressed, it stays up like that. And so when you work on that, it actually will give you a chance to take a deeper breath. Like, I don't know if you've ever been under a lot of stress and you feel like you can't breathe. That really does help. And if you're dealing with somebody that's in the hospital, that's another good spot to work. On the sides of the toe, on the big toe especially, is the side of your neck. All women have neck problems. They all complain about their neck problems. So that's a good spot. But also the bony parts of all the toes are the neck also. So if you only have 10 minutes, you can work the spine and all the toes. Works really good. We work the whole body when we do reflexology because we don't like to dissect things apart. Um, but it does, if you only have a few minutes, then those are the things that I wanted to share with you guys today. And hiccups. So another testimony I have is my family member was on their deathbed, and I went to visit them at English Oaks, and he had hiccups, and he was really mad because he had them for hours. And the nurse comes in, she goes, I called the doctor about them hiccups. I'm waiting for the medicine. I'm waiting for him to call in the medicine. And I told him, reflex works. And he goes, do it. And so I went and started doing reflexology on him within 1 foot of working the diaphragm specifically. The hiccups went away. And he was like, oh, thank God. And the lady comes back in. She goes, oh, I finally got the medicine from the doctor. And he goes, my friend took care of it. She goes, are you doing reflexology? I go, yeah. And she goes, that stuff's amazing. So it helps with hiccups. I was in a buffet line one time and this teenage girl was hiccuping. And I go, let me see your hand. And I showed her. She goes, how'd you do that? And I'm like, just relaxing the diaphragm stops the hiccups. Simple, easy, can't hurt you. And it's kind of a fun little topic that parties to talk about, or except for the poop part. Leave that part out. Speaking of which, that's all the brown area, the intestines. So just like on this foot, the ascending colon is on this side, and then part of the transverse, and then the transverse, and then the sigmoid. And you see how the sigmoid turns? So that one is the one I start with, and then I come over here and do this one. So I do that whenever I'm dealing with constipation or IBS. It's really good for Crohn's and IBS. So that's a little bit more about reflexology. Massage, I was going to bring my table and hypnotize you while I work on Amy, but it was pouring down raining, and then in my bag that fits, I know, poor Amy. And my bag that fits on my table was the table I had with me was not at my work, was not the table that my bag fits on. So I was like, oh, I can't even protect it. And it's an $800 table, so I didn't want to risk that. So I won't be doing a lot of massage today, and working on seniors and like there's so many contraindications, there's not a lot that I could share with you unless you took a class where I had a lot of time to detail it out. But the reflex, there's no contraindications, and the reflex is the one thing you can do on yourself. So that's why I like to share that with people. Does anybody have any questions? I can't be like specific because I don't know everyone's health history. So I'll have people ask me some really detailed questions about a health problem, and I really can't answer a direct question like that. But for yourself, maybe, if anybody has any questions on massage or reflexology. Yes. It kind of does. So when I have somebody come in for the first time, if I'm trying to solve a problem like sciatic pain, for instance, they come in for the first treatment. They get a half-hour reflexology first, because the reflexology actually tells me where to work on the massage, because it can be coming from many different areas. And then an hour massage. So sometimes I can relieve it in one session. But when I have most of my clients get a once a month treatment, some come every 2 weeks. So it just depends on what I say is how much can you afford? Because I can find something to work on every week, but I don't see people weekly. Because when somebody comes in the first time, I see them once, and then I see them sometimes 2 or 3 times in a row, like 3 days apart, to be able to get to the root of the problem. So I don't have to keep repeating the same first treatment over and over again. So that's why I don't see people weekly, so I can make sure I have time for that. But it just depends on the budget and when they come in. Like a realtor, they need a massage every week. Or reflexology. But do they make time for it? Most of them don't. I think I have one that consistently books on a regular and keeps her appointment. The thing about them is money's on the table, so they cancel a lot. So, but it just depends on their job, how much time they have, how much money they have. I can always find something to work on. But regular, according to some of these, is 60 minutes once. I think in the studies, some of them I saw, they were getting one 60-minute session per week to produce those results. So reflexology, I can squeeze that in anytime. I get to sit down the whole time I do reflex. So I can squeeze that in anytime. If somebody has chronic IBS, weekly is most important for that. So I do reflex weekly. So that's about the benefits of that last about a week. But I usually show them on their hands the very specific areas that are showing up so they can do it daily on themselves, because the more consistent they can do it, the better. And if they have a spouse that's willing to learn, I show their spouse. I love working with infants. So if you know someone who has colicky babies, I don't even charge. I love the helping them, their moms get sleep more than anything. And so it usually, I mean, you just barely have to tap a little infant. But I can find, like I was saying earlier, I can feel the texture and of something that's going on in the foot. I can find where they need the tapping, and then I show the mom, and then usually the baby passes gas right there in the moment. And then they're like, "What?" And then I had a lady tell me that she hadn't slept, and I think she had been home from the hospital 3 weeks very well. And one of my friends referred me to her, and she sent me a text the next day and said that's the most sleep she'd had since she got home. So I love helping people with that. I do that for free. If I have a regular client and they go into the hospital for surgery, I go see them after their surgery, because pain medicine, anesthesia, and not moving causes constipation. So I go do their feet just for those measures, and just because they're my client, I care about them. So I don't even charge for that either. So there's some perks for being my regular client. If you come at least once a month, you save $10, just because I have to work less, and it helps me schedule somebody that's hard next to somebody that's easy, and schedule the teacher that's a germ factory not next to the heart transplant patient. I have a 30-year-old just had a heart transplant, and I don't put the teacher before her, because she's every time she comes in, she's talking about all these sick kids in her class. I'm like, oh, I I sanitize like crazy when she leaves. I make her my Friday appointment so it has time to air out for 2 days, and I go home and shower. And she's my friend too. I have lots of teachers, lots of teachers. So I work after 3:30, and I work. My last appointment is at 7:30 at night for people that work full time and are teachers, and I work a couple of Saturdays. So, any other questions? Mm-hmm. Yes, I do wellness. I specifically create a presentation based on the people that I'm speaking to. So if it's a factory of mechanics that are working on machine, is going to be different than people that sit at a desk all the time. So if I get some information, I give you a questionnaire of that information so I can tailor the talk to repetitive use injuries, talk about the regular appointments, how that reducing stress actually creates more productivity for the employer to get more out of their employees. There's less sick leave and sick time. If you can learn to look at your spleen on your hand whenever you're feeling like, I got sinus congestion, and I'm going to see if my spleen is mad, because if my spleen is mad, there's probably a chance that it's more than just allergies, that it's something else going on. We're not allowed to diagnose or prescribe, but you can do it on yourself. You can check it and see, because if it's just allergies, your spleen won't show up. So it hurts. Hmm. It'll feel more puffy than, like, if you're checking it right now and you don't feel any pain, and then if you're feeling something later and you check it and it feels puffy, then that's a sign that there's something going on. We don't know to what degree it's what's happening to the body. We just know there's a discrepancy of some kind. Now, my personal experience, I've worked with dying quite a bit, and I can tell when cancer has spread to other organs by the feet. The feet tell me, but I don't tell the client. Their blood work and their doctors deal with that. I don't get involved in that, but I know by working on them. But not always. Some people come in, they have cancer and don't tell me, and I don't know. I just know something's going on in that part of the body, but I don't know what. It can be stress, it can be infection, it can be tension. I don't know what. But any other questions? Yes, I do wellness for sure. No more questions? No?
Oh my goodness, that's so good. I am going to be calling you, Shannon. She's been bugging me for a long time. She's like, "You need to come see me. You need to come see me." I've been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis since 2015. And in the last 3 to 4 years, it's really gotten progressively worse. So I'm taking it serious and really working hard on getting my health back. So I'm going to make you part of my health journey, sister. And then also I'm going to connect you with my daughter. She has a 3-month-old and she is, yeah, she's struggling. So I'm going to talk to you about that too. Yes. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Thank you so much. We love having advocates. Yes. Okay. All right. Great meeting today. So, next month's meeting, real quick before we do the raffle, is Thursday, March 13th. We're going to be hearing from Navneet Molly about Medicare's guide, dementia care model, patient benefits, and how you can participate. So, we'll be having another great meeting. Where's she at? Wait, there she is. We're looking forward to your presentation. And then again, just come check out the table for information. All right, who do we have and what is it and who gave it to us? Woo, is it a cutting board? Oh, beautiful. I love it. Oh, cut it your way because it's your business. How cute. Okay. Kimberly De Sousa, cut it your way. If I could sing, I would do Frank Sinatra, but I cannot sing. So, okay, what do we got here? Ooh, a neck wrap. Is this from you? How, how did I know? And some aromatherapy. Love, love, love. Miss Liz Reese, come get your neck therapy. So much good stuff today. Okay, what do we got next? Beautiful rose flowers. Okay, Gloria Murphy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right? Did you put your card in? Okay, this is a gift certificate for a 45-minute intro to massage to our expert reflexologist, Shannon. And that is going to Kimberly Gray. Woohoo! All right, let's do another flower. This is from Community Hospice. I've been forgetting to say who all these amazing gifts are from. My apologies. Hold on, these are stuck together. Melissa Britchka. Ah, wonderful. Yes. Either for your mom, daughter, or a special lady. Oh, Liz Reese, gratitude journal and a darling succulent. Love gratitudes. I'm all about them. Sherry Gillette. Okay. Okay.
Join my email list, basically.
Okay. Okay. So just explain.
I have a sign up sheet here. If you guys put your email and your name on it, I will be drawing one more raffle item from everyone that signs up for my email, basically. And that'll get you information about upcoming classes and workshops and things like that.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right. Oh, one more. Thank you. Bottle of champagne and some chocolates for Valentine's. All right. And who's this from? The park. Thank you. Thank you for the raffle prize. Okay. Teresa Pettipiece. Redo it. Okay. She's like, it was my gift. Nayeli Marino. Did she leave? Okay. You know what I say. Snooze, you lose. That's you? Shannon. Enjoy a little alcohol. You deserve it. All right. Thank you, everybody.